separate body with the same set of characteristics, a clone can be created.
But genes don't control a person's fate.
That's true, but having an offspring that's genetically identical to the parent is more efficient, right? You can expect better results that way.
More efficient? You can't mass-produce human beings.
Maybe, but now that we know the true nature of genes, human cloning is that much closer to reality. Nuclear transplanting is already theoretically possible, so one day...
My genes are going to be a valuable commodity.
Exactly.
They never let that happen.
Just think, even if your body dies, you survive and go on to bigger and better accomplishments. If you think about it, it's kind of an honor.
Does that kind of technology seriously appeal to you?
Well, I am a doctor. I can't condone it on moral grounds, but I'm fascinated by the possibilities. Especially when I see such an excellent specimen as yourself.
Yeah, well, thanks for the compliment, but it doesn't make me feel any better.
Don't be so glum. It's not like it's going to happen anytime soon. We'll just have to wait and see.
Les enfants terribles. The terrible children. That's what the project was called. It started in the 1970s. Their plan was to artificially create the most powerful soldier possible. The person that they chose as the model was a man known then as the greatest living soldier in the world.
Big Boss.
But Father was wounded in combat and already in a coma when they brought him in. So they created us from his cells with a combination of 20th century analog cloning and the super baby method.
Super baby method?
They fertilized an egg with one of Father's cells and then let it divide into 8 clone babies. Then they transferred the clones to someone's uterus and later intentionally aborted 6 of the fetuses to encourage strong fetal growth. You and I were originally octuplets.
Octuplets?
Yes. The other 6 of our brothers were sacrificed to make us. We were accomplices in murder before the day we were even born.
Somebody's broke.
So, it was you and I, 2 fertilized eggs with exactly the same DNA. But they weren't finished yet. They used me as a guinea pig to create a phenotype in which all of the dominant genes were expressed to create you. I got all the recessive genes.
Well, my first
You
world
took
problems.
everything from me before I was even born.
So, does the aging have something to do with Fox diet too?
No. Your telomeres were intentionally set up to be short, regardless of the age of the original. One of the genes that inhibit reproduction and aging, the clotho gene, was intentionally mutated as well. But more importantly, your chromosomes, like liquids, were provided with terminator genes to prevent them from making copies.
Why?
Your clones created for one purpose: war. And so, in order to prevent you from being abused by clients or stolen by the enemy, they shortened your lifespan and removed your ability to reproduce. It was a safety device to ensure that the seed of Big Boss didn't end up in the hands of others. The reason you're aging so rapidly isn't because of disease, faulty research, or fox tie. It's how you were born. It's your natural lifespan.
So, the way Liquid explained that is, it's more about storytelling than real science. A lot of that, okay, all of that is a bit more storytelling than real science, but we can talk about human cloning a bit, which is covered in pretty much all the games in varying degrees. The proposition is that, Solid Snake and his twin brother and his other bros will result in many attempts to clone these cells and say blah, 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 blah. The problem with this explanation, with several, but there are some genetic conditions, very disfiguring and outflow genetic conditions that specifically come from dominant genes, and there are similar ones that come from recessive genes. And you know, even discussion of human cloning in 1964 isn't entirely unrealistic. There was just no way anyone could really do anything about it. Certainly not 1972, because it was all cloned. There was just no technology available to actually do it. I mean, you could do this now, the technology's over there, but the cheapest and easiest way to clone a human for reproductive purposes is to do it through the sexy times. Only the sexy times, pretty much. Genetic engineering, using some of the things discussed, like manipulating telomeres and all that guff, has been done. Everyone here heard of Monsanto? Do you enjoy a soybean? That is a good idea. So, you know, doing this kind of stuff is pretty controversial, and it's generally frowned upon by the scientific community to even kind of consider like human cloning. Like, why? It's, as I was saying, it's very inefficient and very expensive when you can just, you know, get your bone on, you know, at the con. By the way, look at the Craigslist ads. Like, search Anime Boston Personals and you'll find some stuff that's hilarious. Okay, there we go.
Jesus Christ, it's Foxbox. He can't get through the door.
Another video.
That wasn't part of us.
Each individual soldier has been fully ID tagged with nanomachines injected into their bodies for that purpose. The nanomachines keep track of the soldiers and their real-time personal data 24 hours a day. They monitor each man's position, movement speed, reserve ammo, firing accuracy, wounds, rations, water intake and supply, sweat secreted, heart rate, blood pressure and sugar levels, oxygen. All the data gathered on body condition, on sensory organ data showing pain and fear, data on every internal response within the body. All of it is collected by an AI at the system's core. The nanomachine network inside each unit member's body lets us share each other's senses. They can see what I see. And it helps control pain.
Is that part of the system, too?
With SOP, my team can literally operate as one.
Probably pause and stop the video.
Well,
Get the gist of it.